I wasn't looking for anything. That's the part that keeps replaying in my head, like maybe if I had been suspicious, it would hurt less. But I wasn't. I was just trying to send myself a document from her laptop because mine was dead, and hers was already open. Her email was up, and I saw my name. You know how your brain tells you don't click that, and your hand does it anyway? Yeah. That. At first, it didn't even register. Just a long thread with her friend, the one she always said gets her. I almost closed it. I wish I had. But then I saw the sentence. I'm so tired of him. I actually laughed. Like out loud. I thought it was a joke, or taken out of context. It wasn't. I scrolled. And in about 30 seconds, my entire understanding of my marriage quietly collapsed without noise, without warning, just gone. Up until that moment, I would have told you my life was normal. Not perfect, but stable. Comfortable. We'd been together for over a decade. Married for most of it. No dramatic fights, no cheating scandals, nothing you'd call toxic. We had routines, shared responsibilities, inside jokes. The kind of life people settle into. Or at least, I thought we had. Looking back now, I can see the cracks. They were there. Small things. She stopped laughing at my dumb jokes. Started going to bed earlier than me. More time on her phone, less random affection. But I chalked it up to stress. Work. Life. Growing older together. That's what you tell yourself when you trust someone. You don't assume they're quietly falling out of love with you. You don't assume they're talking to someone else about leaving you. Because that would mean you've already lost something, and you didn't even notice. The emails weren't recent. That's what made it worse. This wasn't some sudden frustration. This had been building for months. Maybe longer. Whole conversations dissecting me like I was some kind of case study. He doesn't even see me anymore. I feel like I'm living with a roommate. I think I made a mistake staying this long. That one hit differently. A mistake. Years of shared life reduced to a regret typed casually between coffee breaks. And her friend got her friend. Instead of telling her to talk to me, to work on things, to try, she was encouraging it. You deserve to be happy. You're still young. You don't owe him forever. I don't know why that made me angrier than anything else. Maybe because it felt like someone else was quietly helping dismantle my life behind my back. Or maybe because part of me knew. If my wife was listening, it meant she already agreed. I kept scrolling even though I felt sick. Like physically sick. My hands were shaking, but I couldn't stop. It was like watching a car crash in slow motion, knowing it's yours. Then I saw something that made everything worse. A name. Not mine. Not a relative. A man. She didn't explicitly say she was cheating. Not in those words. But the way she talked about him, it wasn't neutral. He actually listens to me. I feel like I can breathe around him. I forgot what that felt like. I had to reread that line 5 times. Because I kept thinking, that's supposed to be me. That was me once. When did I stop being that person? Or was I ever really that person, and she just convinced herself I was? That question hasn't left me since. I don't remember closing the laptop. I don't remember standing up. I just remember being in the kitchen, staring at nothing, trying to figure out how my life had quietly split into 2 timelines, the one I thought I was living, and the real one. She came home about an hour later. Same as always. Keys on the counter. Shoes off. A casual hey. And I just looked at her. I don't know what I expected. Some visible sign. Guilt. Hesitation. Something. But she looked normal. Completely normal. That might have been the most disturbing part. How was your day? She asked. And I almost laughed again. Because how do you answer that? How do you tell someone you just discovered they've been emotionally leaving you for months while they stand there asking about your day like nothing's wrong? So I lied. Fine. We had dinner together that night. I don't remember what we ate. I don't remember what we talked about. But I remember watching her. Every little movement suddenly meant something. Every glance at her phone felt suspicious. Every pause in conversation felt loaded. It was like seeing a completely different person wearing my wife's face. At one point, she smiled at something on her phone. And I felt this sharp, ugly thought. Is that him? I hated myself for thinking it. But I couldn't stop. That's the thing about betrayal, it rewires you instantly. Turns you into someone paranoid, insecure, obsessive. And the worst part, you don't even know what's real anymore. Because clearly your reality before wasn't. I didn't confront her that night. Or the next. Or even the one after that. I don't know why. Part of me wanted to gather more evidence, like I was building a case. Another part I think I was just afraid to hear her say it out loud. Because once she did, there would be no going back. But the silence was eating me alive. Every conversation felt fake. Every touch felt rehearsed. I started rereading the emails when she wasn't home. Like I was trying to find something I missed. Some line that would explain everything. Or maybe soften it. It didn't. If anything, it made it worse. Because the more I read, the clearer it became. She wasn't just unhappy. She was already halfway out the door. The confrontation happened on a Tuesday. I remember, because nothing significant ever happens on Tuesdays. She was in the living room, scrolling on her phone. Same as always. And I just snapped. Who is he? She looked up, confused. What? Don't do that, I said. Don't pretend you don't know what I'm talking about. And then I saw it. That moment. That tiny flicker of panic before she masked it. That's when I knew for sure. I saw the emails, I said. Silence. Not denial. Not anger. Just silence. And somehow that hurt more than anything she could have said. What emails? She finally asked. But it was weak. Unconvincing. You know exactly which ones, I said. She set her phone down slowly. And then she sighed. Not defensive. Not shocked. Just tired. That broke something in me. Because this wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't something she was going to fight to fix. She looked like someone who had already accepted the ending. How long? I asked. She hesitated. Does it matter? Yeah, it did. It mattered a lot. Because every extra day meant more lies. More moments where I thought we were okay, and she knew we weren't. Are you cheating on me? The question felt surreal coming out of my mouth. She didn't answer right away. I haven't crossed a line, she said carefully. I almost laughed. You're way past the line, I said. You just haven't touched him yet. She flinched. And that told me everything. I didn't plan this, she said. That sentence, I've thought about it 1,000 times. Because it's such a weak defense. No one plans to destroy their marriage. They just make a series of choices and end up there anyway. We argued for hours. Or maybe it was minutes. Time didn't make sense anymore. I asked questions I didn't want answers to. She gave answers that only made things worse. Yes, I've thought about leaving. Yes, I'm not happy. Yes, I feel different around him. Every yes felt like a knife. And then she said something I can't forget. I didn't want to hurt you. I just stared at her. You already did. I don't think she understood that. Or maybe she did, and just didn't know how to fix it. Because the truth is some things can't be fixed. Not once they've been said out loud. The next few weeks were a blur. We tried, in a way, had long talks, sat in uncomfortable silence, slept on opposite sides of the bed like strangers. She said she was confused, that she needed time, that she didn't know what she wanted. And I stayed. That's the part I struggle with the most. Why did I stay? Pride, fear, love, probably all of it. I kept hoping she'd snap out of it, that she'd realize what we had was worth saving. But you can't compete with an idea. And that's what he was. An idea of something better, easier, new. Eventually, she left. Not dramatically. No screaming. No slammed doors. Just packed a bag. I need space, she said. I didn't try to stop her. I think part of me already knew it was over. Watching her walk out felt unreal. Like I was watching someone else's life fall apart. After she left, the house felt wrong. Too quiet. Too empty. Every corner reminded me of something that wasn't there anymore. And that's when it really hit me. She hadn't just been planning to leave. She had already left emotionally a long time ago. People ask if I'm angry. I was. At first. At her. At him. At myself. But now it's something else. It's this heavy, constant sadness. Because I keep replaying everything, wondering where it started to go wrong. Was it something I did? Something I didn't do? Or was this always inevitable? I don't have answers. And I think that's the hardest part. There's no clear moment to point to. No single mistake to fix. Just a slow unraveling I didn't see until it was too late. It's been a while now. We're not together. We talk occasionally. Logistics. Practical stuff. Nothing real. I don't ask about him. I don't want to know. What I do know is this. Trust doesn't shatter loudly. It erodes quietly. In missed conversations. In unspoken frustrations. In words said to someone else instead of you. If there's anything I've learned, it's that silence can be more dangerous than conflict. I wish she had told me sooner. I wish I had noticed sooner. But wishes don't change outcomes. Now I just live with the version of the story I got. And the question that still lingers. Was I ever enough, or did she just convince herself I was?